Listen up, ladies. If you want to keep a man's respect, love, and commitment, there are certain things you should never do. Let's break it down. A real man knows what he wants. And if he wants you, he'll show it. If you have to chase him, or call him all the time, and beg for attention, you're already losing. A man values what he has to work for. If you're always the one initiating conversations, making plans, and trying to hold things together, you're doing all the work. That's not how it should be. A man who truly cares about you will put in the effort to be present in your life. You should never feel like you have to prove your worth to him. When you chase a man, you shift the balance of power in the relationship. Instead of being in a position where he values and respects you, he sees you as desperate. That desperation can make him take you for granted. A man needs to feel like he is the one winning you over, not the other way around. If he's interested, he will call. If he wants to see you, he will make plans. If he loves you, he will make it clear. Chasing a man also means you start to compromise your own standards. You'll find yourself accepting behavior that you normally wouldn't tolerate. Maybe he doesn't respond to your texts for hours or even days, and instead of recognizing the red flag, you make excuses for him. Maybe he cancels plans at the last minute, and you tell yourself he's just busy. The moment you start accepting these things, you teach him that he doesn't have to put in any effort. A woman who knows her worth doesn't chase. She doesn't have to. She focuses on her own life, her own happiness, and her own growth. She knows that if a man truly values her, he will show up for her. When you chase a man, you send the message that you don't think you're enough on your own. That energy is unattractive. Confidence is what draws people in. When you know you are worthy of love and respect, you won't feel the need to run after someone who isn't giving it to you freely. Some women chase a man because they feel a deep need for validation. They want to be chosen, to feel special, to be reassured that they are lovable. But chasing a man will never give you that. If anything, it will make you feel worse. Because even if you do get his attention, it will always feel like you had to fight for it. Love should never feel like a constant battle to prove yourself. Men are naturally wired to pursue. It's in their nature. When you take that away from them by doing all the chasing, you disrupt the natural flow of attraction. The thrill of the chase is real, and it plays a huge role in how a man perceives a relationship. When he has to work for something, he appreciates it more. If you just hand it to him without any effort on his part, he won't value it the same way. Think about it like this. If you buy an expensive handbag after saving up for months, you'll cherish it. You'll take care of it, keep it clean, and make sure nothing happens to it. But if someone just hands you that same handbag for free, it won't hold the same value. You might still like it, but you won't have that deep appreciation for it. The same applies to relationships. A man who has to invest time, energy, and effort into winning your heart will cherish you more than a man who had you the moment he showed a little interest. Women who chase men often believe that if they just try harder, if they just do more, they'll eventually get the love they want. But that's not how relationships work. Love isn't something you earn by proving yourself over and over. It's something that should come naturally between people who genuinely want to be together. If you have to force it, it's not real. When you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You give yourself the chance to see who is truly interested in you. A man who wants you will step up. A man who doesn't will disappear. And that's a good thing, because you don't want someone who is only there because you made it easy for them. You want someone who chooses you willingly every single day. Not chasing doesn't mean playing games or being cold. It simply means knowing your value and letting things unfold naturally. It means not investing in someone who isn't meeting you halfway. It means focusing on yourself and letting the right person come to you. Men respect women who have standards. They are drawn to women who have their own lives, their own passions, and their own confidence. When you are secure in yourself, you won't feel the need to chase. You'll trust that the right man will see your worth and pursue you accordingly. Some women chase because they fear losing the man. They think that if they don't put in all the effort, he will leave. But here's the truth. If a man is meant for you, you won't have to chase him. And if he isn't, no amount of chasing will make him stay. When you stop chasing, you put yourself in a position of power. You show the world and yourself that you are worthy of a man who will step up. You shift from a place of insecurity to a place of confidence. That confidence is what attracts high-quality men who are emotionally mature, men who are ready for commitment, men who will value and respect you. So if you find yourself always being the one making the effort, take a step back. Ask yourself why you feel the need to do all the work. Are you afraid of being alone? Do you feel like you have to earn love? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking them. When you stop chasing, you give yourself the chance to experience real love. The kind of love that is mutual, effortless, and fulfilling. The kind of love that doesn't make you question your worth. The kind of love that feels right because it is right. Let him come to you. Let him show you how much he values you. Let him prove that he deserves you. Because the right man will, and when he does, you won't have to chase. You'll simply be loved the way you deserve. If a man is disrespecting you, lying or cheating, don't justify it. Oh, he's just stressed. No, he's just showing you who he is. If you keep excusing it, he'll keep doing it. Women often make excuses for a man's bad behavior because they don't want to face the painful truth that he's simply not treating them right. They hold on to hope that he will change, that he will realize how much she loves him and start acting better. But the truth is, the more you allow disrespect, the more it will continue. A man's behavior is his responsibility. No matter what he's going through, he chooses how he treats you. If he lies to you, that's a choice. If he cheats, that's a choice. If he constantly disrespects you, ignores your feelings, and takes you for granted, that's a choice. The moment you start making excuses for these choices, you send him the message that you will tolerate anything just to keep him. And once he knows that, he has no reason to change. Many women excuse bad behavior because think they can fix the man. They believe that if they just love him enough, support him enough, or prove their loyalty, he will wake up one day and treat them right. But that's not how it works. A man will only change if he wants to, not because you begged him to. If he doesn't respect you now, he won't suddenly start respecting you just because you've been patient. Making excuses for a man's bad behavior also damages your self-worth. Over time, you start to believe that maybe you don't deserve better. Maybe this is just how relationships are. Maybe all men are like this. But that's not true. Good men exist are men who don't lie, who don't cheat, who don't disrespect their woman. But you'll never find that kind of man if you keep holding on to someone who treats you badly. When you excuse bad behavior, you got to set the bar low. And once a man sees that you accept mistreatment, he will keep pushing the limits. Maybe he starts with small lies and you let them slide. Then those lies turn into bigger ones. Maybe he starts disrespecting you in small ways, making little rude comments, dismissing your feelings, and you brush it off. But soon, that disrespect grows. Before you know it, you're in a relationship where you're constantly hurt, constantly crying, and constantly wondering what you did wrong. A man will only treat you the way you allow him to. If you demand respect from the start, he will either step up or step out. But if you allow bad behavior, he will only do worse. When you make excuses, you give him a free pass. You remove accountability. And without accountability, he has no reason to change. Some women make excuses because they are afraid of losing the man. They think that if they call him out, he will leave. But here's the truth. If a man is treating you badly and he leaves just because you demand respect, then you never really had him in the first place. A good man will respect a woman who stands up for herself. A bad man will leave when he realizes he can't get away with disrespect. And that's a blessing, not a loss. Women also excuse bad behavior because they remember the good times. They hold on to the man he used to be or the man he could be. Maybe in the beginning, he was sweet, attentive, and loving. Maybe he used to make you feel special, and now he doesn't. But the past doesn't matter if the present is full of pain. And the potential of who he could be doesn't matter if he's not making any effort to be that man. Love is not about holding on to potential. It's about reality. If a man is consistently making you feel unimportant, unloved, or disrespected, then that's who he is. Not the man he was when you first met. Not the man he could be if he tried harder. But the man he is right now. And if right now he is treating you poorly, then that's all that matters. Making excuses also teaches you to ignore your own feelings. You start prioritizing his problems, his struggles, his excuses over your own emotional well-being. Maybe he says he treats you badly because he had a rough childhood, or because he's stressed about work, or because he's going through a tough time. And instead of holding him accountable, you start feeling sorry for him. You start believing that his problems justify his actions. But nothing justifies treating someone you love with disrespect. We all have struggles. We all go through hard times. But good people don't use those struggles as an excuse to hurt others. A man who truly cares about you will never let his personal problems become a reason to mistreat you. And if he does, that's a reflection of his character, not his circumstances. A man will only treat you the way you allow him to. If you demand respect from the start, he will either step up or step out. But if you allow bad behavior, he will only do worse. When you make excuses, you give him a free pass. You remove accountability. And without accountability, he has no reason to change. Some women make excuses because they are afraid of losing the man. They think that if they call him out, he will leave. But here's the truth. If a man is treating you badly and he leaves just because you demand respect, then you never really had him in the first place. A good man will respect a woman who stands up for herself. A bad man will leave when he realizes he can't get away with disrespect. And that's a blessing, not a loss. Women also excuse bad behavior because they remember the good times. They hold on to the man he used to be or the man he could be. Maybe in the beginning he was sweet, attentive, and loving. Maybe he used to make you feel special, and now he doesn't. But the past doesn't matter if the present is full of pain, and the potential of who he could be doesn't matter if he's not making any effort to be that man. Love is not about holding on to potential, it's about reality. If a man is consistently making you feel unimportant, unloved, or disrespected, then that's who he is. Not the man he was when you first met. Not the man he could be if he tried harder. But the man he is right now. And if right now he is treating you poorly, then that's all that matters. Making excuses also teaches you to ignore your own feelings. You start prioritizing his problems, his struggles, his excuses over your own emotional well-being. Maybe he says he treats you badly because he had a rough childhood, or because he's stressed about work, or because he's going through a tough time. And instead of holding him accountable, you start feeling sorry for him. You start believing that his problems justify his actions. But nothing justifies treating someone you love with disrespect. We all have struggles. We all go through hard times. But good people don't use those struggles as an excuse to hurt others. A man who truly cares about you will never let his personal problems become a reason to mistreat you. And if he does, that's a reflection of his character, not his circumstances. If you find yourself constantly justifying his behavior, take a step back. Ask yourself, if a friend came to you with the same situation, what advice would you give her? Would you tell her to stay and keep hoping? Or would you tell her to walk away because she deserves better? The answer is clear. When you stop making excuses, you take your power back. You show yourself and the world that you value yourself much to accept anything less than respect and love. You stop wasting time on a man who isn't treating you right, and you open yourself up to the possibility of something better. A man's actions speak louder than his words. If he's always apologizing but never changing, that's not an apology, it's manipulation. If he promises to do better but keeps repeating the same mistakes, he's not trying, he's just stringing you along. You don't need a man who says he loves you but shows you disrespect. You need a man whose actions align with his words. Some women fear that if they stop making excuses, they'll have to leave. And leaving is scary, especially if you've invested a lot of time, love, and energy into the relationship. But staying in a toxic situation just because you're afraid of being alone is not love, it's self-destruction. Being single and at peace is far better than being in a relationship filled with pain. When you accept the truth about a man's behavior, you give yourself the freedom to choose better. You remind yourself that you deserve a love that doesn't require suffering. You deserve a relationship where you feel safe, valued, and cherished. A real man will never put you in a position where you have to constantly question his love and loyalty. A real man won't make you feel like you're begging for the bare minimum. And a real man won't expect you to make excuses for his bad behavior. If he truly cares about you, he will take responsibility for his actions. He will listen when you express your feelings. He will put in the effort to make things right. And most importantly, he will never give you a reason to make excuses for him in the first place. A relationship should be a place of love, trust, and respect. If it's filled with lies, disrespect, and emotional pain, then it's not a relationship. It's a situation you're trying to survive. And love is not supposed to be survival. It's supposed to be peace. It's supposed to be joy. Stop making excuses for a man who keeps hurting you. Stop hoping he will change when he's showing you over and over that he won't. Stop allowing yourself to believe that this is the best you can get. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you set yourself free. Free to find real love. Free to be happy. Free to be treated the way you deserve. Because the right man won't need excuses. He will simply do right by you. Cooking, cleaning, giving him your all when he hasn't even committed. Slow down. If he gets everything for free, why would he ever step up and make his wife? Make him earn that level of access. Too many women give their all to a man before he has even proven that he deserves it. They pour in their love, time, and effort, hoping that if they do everything right, he will realize how valuable they are and commit. But that's not how it works. When a man gets all the benefits of a committed relationship without any effort, he has no reason to step up. A man values what he has to work for. If you give him everything soon, he will enjoy it, but he won't see a need to take things to the next level. Think about it like a job. If you were given a high salary without having to prove yourself, without going through training, without showing up to work every day, would you take that job seriously? Probably not. The same applies to relationships. If he's getting all the privileges of a husband while still acting like a boyfriend, or worse, like someone who's just casually dating, he has no incentive to change. Women do this because they think they are showing love. They believe that by taking care of a man, he will appreciate it and realize she's the one. They think that cooking for him, doing his laundry, being available whenever he calls, and treating him like a king will make him see her as wife material. But what actually happens? He enjoys the benefits, but he doesn't feel the need to make a deeper commitment. Instead of seeing her as someone he should cherish and commit to, he sees her as someone who is always available, no matter what he does. This is why some men stay in relationships for years without proposing. They already have everything they need. Someone to take care of them, someone to love them, someone to be there emotionally, physically, and even financially. Why would they change anything? They have the perfect setup. The moment a woman starts expecting more, commitment, respect, a deeper level of emotional investment, he might start pulling away. Not because he doesn't care about her, but because he's comfortable where he is. A woman should never give wife privileges to a man who hasn't earned them. This doesn't mean you should be cold or distant. It simply means you should set boundaries. If he wants you to cook for him, ask yourself, has he proven that he's serious about a future with you? If he expects you to always be there for him, ask yourself, is he truly there for you in the same way? If he wants all the benefits of a committed relationship, ask yourself, has he actually committed? Women often fear that if they don't do these things, the man will leave. But here's the truth. If a man is only with you because of what you do for him, not because of who you are, then he's not the right man. A man who genuinely values, you will be willing to put in effort. He will want to prove himself to you. You just as much as you are proving yourself to him. He won't expect everything be handed to him without making a real commitment. Men respect what they earn. If he has to put an effort to be with you, he will appreciate you more. If he has to work to win your heart, he will take that commitment seriously. But if everything comes too easily, he won't value it the same way. This is why you see men chase after women who set high standards. The challenge excites them. It makes them feel like they have something truly valuable. Some women think that withholding wife privileges means playing games or being manipulative, but that's not the case. It's about having self-respect. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and love are valuable and should be given to someone who has earned them. It's about understanding that if a man truly cares about you, he will not mind putting in effort. He won't see it as a game. He will see it as an opportunity to show you that he's serious. Women sometimes make the mistake of thinking that love is about sacrifice. They believe that if they sacrifice enough, if they give enough, the man will eventually love them the same way. But real love is not about proving yourself through sacrifice. It's about mutual effort, mutual commitment, and mutual respect. If you find yourself giving everything while he's just taking, that's not love. That's imbalance. The right man will not expect you to prove your worth by doing everything for him. He will see your worth because of who you are. He will not need you to cook clean or give your all just to earn his love. He will love you because of your character, your personality, and the way you carry yourself. A real man doesn't need a woman to prove that she's worthy of commitment. He will already know. When you stop giving wife privileges to a man who hasn't committed, you force him to make a choice. He can either step up and show they're serious, or he can walk away. And if he walks away, then he was never truly invested in the first place. That's a hard truth, but it's one that will. Ever truly invested in the first place. That's a hard truth, but it's one that will save you time, energy, and heartbreak. A high-value woman knows that her love is valuable. She doesn't give it away to just anyone. She makes sure that the man she chooses is worthy of her time and effort. She understands that relationships should be built on equal effort, not on one person doing all the work while the other enjoys the benefits. If you find yourself always giving and never receiving, always proving and never being appreciated, take a step back. Ask yourself why you feel the need to prove your worth. A good relationship will never make you feel like you have to earn love. It will simply be there because it's meant to be. A man who is serious about you will not just take from you. He will also give. He will want to show you that he's worthy of your love just as much as you want to show him that you're worthy of his. He will make an effort to make you happy, to support you, and to be a real partner. And when you have that kind of love, you won't need to give everything too soon because you'll know that he's in it for the right reasons. If a man is getting everything for free, he has no motivation to make a deeper commitment. He has no reason to step up. But if he sees that you have standards, that you expect effort, that you won't just give your all without a real commitment, he will either rise to the occasion or walk away. Either way, you win. Because the man who stays will be one who truly values you. Women need to realize that they are the prize. The right man will recognize that. He will not need to be convinced, tricked, or pressured into commitment. He will step up because he wants to, not because he has to. And that's the kind of love that is worth waiting for.